Live from Town Square Towers at the heart of the Jersey Shore. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Get up, get out, do something. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. 6:07, Monday, November 14th, 36 degrees, but it's getting up to a balmy 62 today. WOBM AM 1160, 1310 News Talk Radio. Streaming live on the Radio Pup app and WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160 to join the conversation. We're now joined by Sergeant First Class Jeff Mullins. He is here to. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Whew. You looked at me like, uh-oh.
No.
I'm like, and you're much bigger than me. And you brought an animal, so I'm a little scared. I'm just saying. We are talking about the Rebuilding Warriors program, among other things. So welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. And you are the first, as Zach pointed out, you are the first guest of ours ever to bring a living four-legged friend. Is that correct, Zach?
Yeah. And she's laying here nicely.
Yes, that's good. That's good.
Yes.
So talk to me. So Rebuilding Warriors, what is that all about?
Rebuild Warriors is an organization. It's a fully volunteer organization, 501c3, and we provide service dogs to men and women honorably discharged from the military who suffer from PTSD, traumatic brain injuries, and amputations.
Wow. So when you say that you provide service dogs, what does a service dog do for somebody who's been honorably discharged who may have PTSD?
It depends on the special needs of if the veteran has any special needs. The dog is specifically trained to, let's say, turn on a light, open a door, not necessarily open a refrigerator or anything, but kind of make up for the deficiency of the veteran.
Right. Well, that's and so statistically, I'm sure that has proven that to yield much better results as far as quality of life for those veterans, correct?
It has. We've gone through numerous veterans, as we spoke about earlier, the 22 veterans a day who kill themselves, and that's only the reported number. So we actually had one that was admitted into the hospital again last night who we previously gave a service dog to.
Right.
So, but he checked himself in because of the service dog.
Right, that's great. So, how did you get involved in this program? What made you get involved?
Jeff Anderson, the CEO and founder of Rebuilding Warriors, I grew up with him. So, we had never met in the service. We both joined the service out of high school, and I joined the Navy Seabees. He was an Army, joined as a dog handler. We met some 30 years later, and he said, "This is what I'm doing." And I said, "Really?" So me and my wife both looked at it, and I said, "I'm in."
Cool.
I'm in.
Cool. And so you are currently active military.
I am currently active down at Fort Dix.
Okay. How long have you been in the military?
When all said and done, I'll be 28 years.
When all said and done, is that like sometime, like is that 8 years from now, or when
No.
you mean like now it's been 28 years?
No, it's June 1st. I'll be a civilian again.
God, what is it about? I got to be honest with you. It's making me want to join the military. If I was capable of, but because everybody who comes in here, they say they've been in the military for 25 years. And I look at them and I'm like, you look like you're like 35 years old.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm 43 and I look like I'm 71. So I obviously made some poor career choices here.
Yeah.
What made you first join the military?
I grew up upstate New York, and I really didn't like it up there. And I just wanted to get away.
Well, you didn't like what? You didn't like the humidity?
No. It just the way of life up there.
Yeah.
I could see that there was a lot of people that were doing drugs, and I didn't think anything good was ever going to happen.
So you were looking for kind of your way out of that situation?
Exactly.
And you're like...
and I found it,
That's great. So you would, I assume you would recommend it to others who are.
Absolutely. I think all the kids ought to go at least through boot camp.
Yeah.
Have a little bit of discipline and guidance.
Right. Well, that's there's certainly something to be said for that. You have kids yourself?
I do.
How old?
I have 4 girls.
Wow.
Ranging from 34 to 26.
Oh, good. I don't feel so bad now. When I was struggling with how old my youngest daughter was before, I'm like, is she 11 or 12? Which one is it? When you get into when you get past 2, it's hard to keep track, right?
It sure is.
And we get older, and our brains aren't nearly as sharp. I mean, obviously, mine. I'm only speaking for me. So any of them, any of the girls consider military?
No.
No.
Not at all.
Did you at least pitch the boot camp thing to them?
Absolutely. Well, one actually was thinking about it.
Yeah.
But then she quickly said no.
Okay. So you went into the military, and so where have you been? Where have you been?
When I was at Navy Seabee, I went all over the world.
Yeah.
We deployed for 9 months every 15 months.
Right.
And went to Spain, Portugal, Australia, Moscow.
Wow.
Where else? Alaska, and of course here in the United States.
Right. And Jersey.
And Jersey.
Yeah. So is it so when you find out you're getting commissioned in Jersey, or you're like, I've been to Moscow.
Actually, I got out and came back here.
Oh, okay. So you this was like by choice.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I was out of the military for 10 years, and then I rejoined National Guard.
Okay.
And became a medic, and it's been history ever since.
Okay. So I guess, I always ask this. This has become like a running joke on the show whenever we interview military. The question is, where's the best Mexican food? In which country did you have the best Mexican food? Because I think South Korea was where, is that where it was?
Yeah, South Korea had the best tacos.
We've had two military folks tell us that the best tacos were in South Korea, right? So have you had? I mean, where what can you tell me? Listen, at the end of the day, for me, it revolves around food.
I would have to say when I was in Nicaragua.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
The Mexican
best.
food was good?
It was delicious. Let's just say they told us not to eat it, but being medics, we said, what the heck?
Right. It's interesting because on all of the Nicaraguan, advertising that I see, their tourism stuff, I never see them advertise their food. They never are like, hey, come to Managua, because this is like, we have this great culinary, but they're missing out. They're missing the boat on that, aren't
Absolutely.
they?
Absolutely. And Managua's got the 5-star resort right there.
They do?
5-star resort.
How did you, Zach, could you have named a single city in Nicaragua?
No.
Managua's an easy one because Managua and Nicaragua. It kind of puts you to
Yeah,
sleep.
they flow together.
Yeah,
They go together.
sometimes when I'm feeling a little bout of insomnia, I just kind of repeat that to myself over and over again, and next thing you know, I'm passed out. Or I ask my wife to tell me about her day. Those are two strategies I have. So when we come back, I want you to really kind of dive in. We want to dive into this Rebuilding Warrior program because I want to understand kind of how you raise money, what it costs to commission a service dog, right? What the size of that looks like. I want to talk about how many folks you've impacted, and of course we always want to get into how people can pitch in and help. Certainly very topical as we are finishing up Veterans Day weekend, right? After just what's been it was an amazing Friday, and here in Toms River we have our big parade today. So, wake up with Jeremy Grunin, Sergeant First Class Jeff Mullins. Back after this.
Wake up with Jeremy Grunin wherever you go. Download the Radio Pup app for your smartphone or tablet. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310.
Hey, welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. We are here with Sergeant First Class Jeff Mullins, Rebuilding Warriors. We're talking service dogs specifically. So talk to me. So what is the cost all in to train up a service dog?
The cost basically is about $8,000.
Okay.
That is for the cost of a dog. Usually the dog costs us about $1,500 to $2,000.
Okay.
We give the trainers at the end of the training period, once the dog is placed, we reimburse them for food, medical expenses, and able to socialize them. So basically it comes out to about $250 a month.
Okay. Okay. So wait, $250 a month to maintain?
To maintain.
Okay.
While they're doing the training, going through the training period.
Gotcha. Okay. And what does that interview process for a dog look like? I mean, do you have is there a list of set questions that you ask, or how does that work?
Believe it or not, it's a face-to-face or a telephone. There is no written application for us.
No, you're missing it. I said, what's the interview process for the dog? I mean, how do you get there? How do you find the right dog? I was like, wait, you're calling the dog on the phone and talking to the dog?
I know.
That's like the dog whisperer. I mean, that's a whole different thing going on.
We actually find a veteran first, and then find out what needs the veteran has.
Right.
And then we find the canine to match up with the veteran.
Okay. All right. So you find the veteran, and then you go find a canine. Mm-hmm. And so again, so how do you match them though? Like, what is there like?
It's we have a veteran up in upstate New York that two things with his needs is he's allergic to dogs, and he has stability issues. So we're gonna find we've found a standard poodle.
Okay.
Standard poodles are non-allergenic, and they are good for stability.
Okay.
They're tall. They're very smart. Their personalities are amazing.
So I guess I thought, when you think service dog, the dog you brought in today, what's that dog's name, by the way?
Zoe.
Because I prefer to, I don't like referring to dogs as that dog. It's rude, right?
Yeah.
So as far as Zoe, Zoe is to me your prototypical service dog from a look standpoint.
Yes.
Right. When I think service dog, I think of the blind, right, and that's what I think of a service dog. So then you say poodle, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Right. So it's not the same mission here as just a dog that can take someone, walk them and lead them down the road.
CNI
this
dog.
is different. So you're really looking for just different personalities in dogs.
Exactly.
Okay. So the process is, oh my God, I'm all right. So the process is you have a veteran, right? They apply. How many applications do you get a year?
Way too many.
Okay.
And it's the hardest part is saying no. But I get calls, I get text messages, I get emails. Jeff Anderson out in California fields hundreds of emails with veterans.
Okay. So how do you pare them down? What's like, what is it?
We just go through the process of finding out basically what their job was in the military, and secondly, what residual effects they have from being in combat. And then if a veteran is suicidal, that kind of puts them up a little higher.
Right.
And we take it from there, and then we pull the ones that we look at, and we get together and we decide which ones we're going to go for.
That must be so hard when you say no to someone.
It is.
Right.
I mean, I spoke to a guy about 2 months ago, and what happened to him was he joined the service in 2011. He was in the Navy, got on his ship over in the Persian Gulf, and suffered a massive stroke.
Right.
So to me, that's not combat related. So
right.
He's kind of on the back burner. But as of right now, that we're looking for those who truly need the life-saving measures of a service dog.
So this year, you're going to do 18 service dogs?
This year, actually, we're going to hit 23.
23 service dogs. So 23 service dogs, and I'm going to do the math. Zach will help me with this. You said it's $8,000 a dog. So I'm going to say that's about $184,000 that you need just for the dogs, right? And are there any other costs involved?
There's additional costs like hotel, whether or not they have to be flown.
Right.
Of course, the dog doesn't pay an airline ticket. But
that's ridiculous. You know what? Zoe and I are going to have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But a hotel stay, usually it's about a week for either myself, Jeff Anderson, the trainer, and the veteran.
Right. So you have a $225,000 budget overall, and that's where the fundraising comes in, right?
Absolutely.
Right. And you don't get paid? You don't get paid for this, right? This is just you doing this out of the kindness of your heart.
There's nobody gets paid in this organization.
Do you get free shirts like that though? Like I like that one. That's got the army and the paws and all that. That's a nice shirt.
I like this.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So you have to go and figure out how you're gonna make this money, right?
We do.
Okay.
We do a lot of
nothing.
Go ahead.
No, you it was my thing. You said we do, and I love when people say do.
Oh, good.
But on that note, we're actually going to hold on. So because I want to talk about the fundraising piece when we get back. Okay. I thought there was a doo-doo thing there because it's dogs and you get it, Zach. It's a stretch.
Yeah, that one's stretching.
Phil Brilliant doesn't make these kind of dumb jokes, right?
No.
Anyway, Sergeant First Class Jeff Mullins, rebuilding warriors. We're going to talk about how we raised that $225,000 to support our veterans with PTSD, etc. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin back after this.
Coming up next, the latest from WOBM News, the Town Square, New Jersey News Network, and Fox News Radio. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Live from Town Square Towers, at the heart of the Jersey Shore. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Get up, get out, do something. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin, 6:33, Monday, November 14th, 36 degrees, getting up to 62 today. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. News Talk Radio, streaming live on the Radio Pup app and WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160 to join the conversation. We are joined by Sergeant First Class Jeff Mullins, rebuilding warriors, talking about service dogs, and there'll even be a picture of me with a dog later, which is great because we're working on my wife, by the way, because the kids all would like to have a dog.
Of course they would.
I've never been a huge dog fan, like truth be told. Had one for a short time. Never was a real huge pet fan. My wife, there's no chance.
Always the problem.
Yeah. And the reality is, and you've been through this, when your kids are, 15, 13, 11.
Yeah. Daddy, can we get a dog?
Yeah. And then what? And who does the work?
We do.
Yeah, right? They're like, no, we'll walk the dog. Actually, that's not true. Two of my kids are smart now. They say, no, Emma will walk the dog. Because they know my third one, she's the responsible one. She probably would go walk the dog every time. Yeah. But anyway, so tell me about fundraising. How do you do it?
We typically try to do at least one big fundraiser here in New Jersey. This next year coming up on May 7th at the Headliner in Neptune will be our third annual New Jersey Rebuilding Warriors fundraiser. We have done very well there. We've also had fundraisers up in Woodbridge at Moby Dick's bar restaurant in Seawarren. But there's a lot of organizations that want to do stuff for us. I'm being pulled by so many directions of, hey, we want to do something for you here. We want to do something for you here.
Right.
So getting to all those places would be great.
Right.
If I had 5 arms and 10 legs to get over there, I'd do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, there are certain causes, right? Now, I'm going to put on my nonprofit executive director of a foundation hat for a second. There are certain causes that are very difficult to say no to or to not want to support, right?
True.
So that usually involves young children, right? Hard to ever not want to support something with young children. Animals, right? Hard not to want to support something with animals. And really kind of the elderly and veterans.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, those that have done so much for their whole lives and now need extra help. It's hard to, and you kind of bring two of those things together here. And even the most ardent of animal non-supporters would admit that that the relationship between the right person and the right animal can be life-changing, right?
Oh, absolutely. It is life-changing. A lot of people know about Rebuilding Warriors and we do service dogs, but a lot of people don't realize why we do it. And if PTSD isn't something you can see in somebody,
right?
Unless they have a verbal outburst or they get anxiety attack and so on. But typically, if the veteran can't speak those words that's in his head
right.
to a significant other or a provider, typically they say it to the dog because the dog is just there to give unconditional love.
Right.
So that, I think, is the life-saving measure in itself right there.
That's great. All right. Sergeant First Class Jeff Mullins, it's that time. We give you the magic wand, the pixie dust, the fairy dust, the ability just to wiggle your nose and make an impact. Now, I could tell you, and it's interesting because we had Colonel Sanders on, not the chicken guy, the one from the Joint Base,
my boss,
who is your boss. We had him actually a week ago Friday, 10 days ago. I could tell you that his magic wand. He said that if he could just wave his magic wand, he would want Sergeant First Class Jeff Mullins to, ultimately be a colonel and beyond. I thought it was amazing. I didn't even know who you were at that time, but that's what he said. So I don't want to put any pressure on you, but what are you doing with your magic wand?
That's a hard one to follow now.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
I think if I actually had a magic wand, I would love to be able to provide all the veterans who are in need with a service dog.
Yeah.
I really would. It's an amazing thing to see a veteran get paired up with a service dog.
See, I thought you were going to go with the whole 5 arms, and I thought you were vibing there for a second about. I'd
rather make sure that people are still pulling at us because that makes us vibrant.
So when you retire from the Army, do you think you'll still be doing this?
Absolutely.
Yeah, this has become a passion for you now.
Absolutely.
That's
both
very
mine,
cool.
my wife's, my family.
Very cool. So where can folks learn more? Was there a website, Facebook? Where can they go if they're moved and they want to contribute or they want to come learn more about what's going on?
Rebuilding Warriors has a Facebook page. Rebuilding Warriors. The website is www.rebuildingwarriors.com. My email address, if anybody cares to want more information locally, is jmullins25@comcast.net.
Very cool. And listen, so good job. You have what do I see here? Do I see you have like 13,000 likes or so on your Facebook page? So that's good. So that means there are lots of people getting the message.
We're getting there. We're also on Instagram and Twitter as well.
Instagram and Twitter. Right. Okay, great. You know what? I have to say, I was very fortunate. We dedicated on Friday, we did a groundbreaking for a new veteran sculpture that we are putting up at Bailey Park here in town. That's going to actually celebrate all of our conflicts, right? So the 4 major conflicts. And we didn't go back to the Civil War because that's and then we missed the Spanish-American War. We missed a couple of those, but we did 1, 2, Korea, Vietnam, and we have a soldier for each of those. Plus we have our the first field nurse involved. It's a beautiful tribute, and we actually had Captain Bergen from the Joint Base. And who came for the dedication, and we had a number of veterans, and it's always so heartwarming to see veterans and to be around them and to be able to thank them personally for what they've done for the country. And so I say to you, thank you for all you've done in these when all said and done 28 years, right? That you've been serving, and then to kind of amplify that, you're helping so many others. Beyond that, who have been impacted profoundly by what they've seen, what they've experienced, what they've been through. And so for that, I can't thank you enough. So, that's really great. And it's fantastic to hear stories of people who've done things like that.
We need to take care of our own.
Absolutely.
So, the biggest thing is that every time that I'm out and I see somebody, a Vietnam veteran, I always tell them, welcome home. Thank you for your service.
Right.
It's the biggest thing.
Well, I appreciate it, and we appreciate it, and thank you for your service.
And thank you.
Sergeant First Class Jeff Mullins, Rebuilding Warriors, check it out. Awesome cause. And thank you, Zoe, although,
May 7th, headliner.
May 7th at the headliner, and Zoe, I got to say, didn't participate as much as I would have. Maybe next time.
She's all right, though.
Wake up with Jeremy Grunin back after this.